Hey, I'm Margie. You may or may not know me by my radio name, Margie maybe, but I've been in the business for about let's just say over a few decades. And now I'm going to launch into a journey of seriously focusing on voiceover work. I have to say I did some important things to prep for this because originally what I'd started out with was, well, hey, I know radio. I can do this. I do commercials for radio all the time. The problem is everything in radio is the exact opposite of what you need to do when you're doing voiceover work. So it kind of didn't help at all. It actually made it harder when I went to a voice coach. So if you're thinking about getting to voiceover work, yes, you need a voice coach because it isn't just, oh, people tell me I have a great voice. Yeah, you need a voice coach to help direct you and show you how you should sound. Also, there's the whole putting the demo together and then, the studio situation, which, by the way, I am not doing this in my studio just because for visual effects, my studio is like a lot of people who start out at home. It's in a lovely walk-in closet that has horrible lighting. So I didn't do it there. Clearly, this is also not a video on makeup or hair tutorial either. But what it is my attempt to share with you my trials as I go about this journey of trying to transition my career. Like I said, I did find a voice coach. I'm in a nice sized town in Florida, so as it happened, I have a really brilliant voice coach, but his specialty is narration. He has done tons of books and he's great at that, and he was actually trying to coach me and help me to get into that more, and we finally we came to an understanding. I'm kind of dyslexic, so trying to do an entire book would be torturous, so that's not the plan. If I lived in a bigger city, while I love my voice coach, John Burr, he's great. If I lived in a bigger city though, I might go with a voice coach that was more for voice characters because that's really what I'd love to do. Unfortunately, what I'm absolutely skilled at more naturally is being that nice, calm, but reassuring voice. So I get a lot of those. I'm the voice of the airport and I landed the voice of the hospital, all of which I didn't get through my voice coach, but it's been since working with a voice coach. And those were sort of, got lucky, right connections kind of job stuff. I'm actually now going to be branching out into the pay-for-play ones, and I thought I'd keep a little video diary of what's going on. I have in the past used voices.com, and I heard all the rumors about, they're skimming off what the people pay on it and everything like that. I had no proof of that, no anything on that. The things that bothered me about it were there's I don't know, 60,000 people, talents on there that, you're up against, and it's kind of too many fish in one pond, I guess. And I know you're thinking, well, not all 60,000 of them are competing. Well, okay, let's wipe out a third. A third of the people are people who either tried it, hated it, and quit it, or maybe they're, like people who are like, oh, I'm too good for this, and they moved on and they're doing their own work. Okay, so that still leaves, say, 40,000. And I know you're thinking, well, half of those might be men, so they wouldn't get the same gigs. Okay, so we'll wipe out 20,000. That still leaves me with 20,000 people I'm competing with. Now, granted, there might not be as many sincere, sounding I want the woman who can tell me that it's okay if I have cancer kind of voice. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, that might wipe it out so that there's more character voices, or that's still, it comes down to 10,000. So when you start looking at numbers like that, it boggles the mind. Now, I like to think that I'm one in a million, but when I go shoe shopping, my size and favorite choice is usually the one that's not in stock. So clearly, there's some duplication there. No, actually, it was really creepy. I had an old boyfriend, and I looked through these, he was showing a picture of all his past, and it showed a lot of past girlfriends, and sure enough, I was like, oh, she looks like me from here up. She looks like me from here down. Creepy. But the truth of the matter is, yeah, there are other people that do sound like you, and voice impersonators. I mean, come on. So being that in mind, just be aware of it. But then I started thinking about, well, how much would I pay in just about any other career? I mean, there's a lot of jobs out there that, just to carry a license in that field, you would pay something to be a part of it. So I stopped being afraid of that, and I stopped being afraid of the competition, and I'm going to push forward. Now, I've heard Bodago, I'm certain I am saying that wrong, and then there's Voices 123 and Voices.com. These are the three that I'm hearing the most about. I'm going to be looking into other stuff and try to keep you posted on that. Bodago, can't say their name right. I just don't know it. I got to hear it again. That one I might be interested in just because it's apparently they don't have as many people in it, which is a good thing, but there's also, they don't send everything your way. It kind of does a little analytics, and it knows what kind of voice. So, I mean, that might be a good one for me because I actually kind of know what I'm very skilled at and geared towards. However, like I said earlier, I want to get into character voice work. I would love to be doing more like, video games and scary, evil things. I've actually wanted to do the voice of something evil. I remember my first movie, they did like a Disney brought back Snow White. And I was a little kid, and I remember sitting there going, oh, I want to be the voice of the queen, the evil queen or stepmother. So anyway, so I'd love to do that kind of work. And that's what brings me to voices.com, because they do more video game, or at least you have more auditions for it. And then there's Voices 123. See, there's so many rumors going around. There's rumors at voices.com, they skim off the top, which I have no recollection or no experience in that way. I think that's just other voice artists, people trying to spread that rumor to get more people to go away so they can get more jobs. I have no idea. And then there's also Voices 123 that I heard, but they're selling and and they're going to go into this automated thing. I don't know. I did reach some research, and I saw where one woman was like, she found Voices 123. She didn't get paid quite as much as the Voices.com jobs, but she had to audition less and got more jobs. So there's that time versus, that kind of thing. So that might be worth looking into too. And then again, like I said, with the Bidalgo, you can go ahead, put something underneath that says, this is how you pronounce that, whatever. I'm going to look into that one too, just because I think I'm probably more naturally suited. But just to recap, if you're thinking about getting into voice work, here's things that I've already done and already gotten myself ready for. It is not it's not the cheapest job around, because you do need equipment. If you have to go to someone else's studio all the time, you got to pay them, and then therein lies your profit margin. So you're looking at least, a decent mic, the sound system. Like right now, what I'm in, this would never work, but you get, your master bedroom closet or whatever. You're going to have to make your own little sound studio there. There's a lot of YouTube videos on what's appropriate and correct for that. You also need to look at your interface, what you're going to use to process everything. That varies massively in price. I am very fortunate. My husband's kind of an IT guy, so a lot of that stuff I can talk to him about and keep all that good stuff. Check though there's a lot of Facebook social media things that you can, that are other people in the voice careers, and you can ask them, hey, what do you suggest for this, that, or the other, what equipment they like, and they won't all agree on one thing. You'll see a lot of different things, but there'll be different voices that you see posting stuff that you're like, oh, I liked their post about whatever, or I've liked what they've done so far. I'm going to follow their path. So that's my tip there. But yeah, the voice coach, it just seems, I know, so counterintuitive. You think, well, I know how to talk. I've been talking since I was 2. Yeah, but it's not the same thing. Yes, you have a great voice, but you have to know how to read and deliver the way a client would need it, and how to finesse a script, and how to make sure that it's, timely edited and all that good stuff, that a voice coach can really set you on the right path. hopefully I'm on the right path. So I'm going to keep this video blog up and try to check in and just let you know how my progress is going. It's a little stressful right now because, you know, I'm with a bunch of people, really wonderful people who all got the boot from a certain lovely radio company. All, you know what I'm saying? And so it's weird to not have my regular routine, but hopefully I have a new routine that I'm starting to build. It starts today. And thanks for tagging along with me.